discussing ginger, dry split ginger. So let's look at the product itself and look at the quality specification. It's important you know and understand the quality specification of the product you want to export. One of the challenges is people not understand, I want to export the product, I don't even know the product well enough to be able to ensure I observe the expected quality specification. Dry split ginger is made from rhizome or underground stem of ginger plant. Ginger is harvested, washed, and peeled before being sliced or split into smaller pieces. These pieces are then dried either on the sun or using dehydrator until they become hard and brittle. The dried ginger can be further processed into powder, into ground ginger, some into ginger tea, and they are also sold whole. Dry split ginger comes in various forms. So you have the split ginger, the most common form, where this ginger is split lengthwise into pieces. Then you have the raised ginger. Ginger is cut into slices across the grain, resulting in a slightly different texture and flavor. Then we have the high ginger, higher quality ginger with larger plumber pieces and a stronger aroma, and low ginger, smaller, less flavor ginger pieces, often used in blend for industrial application. Look at the quality specification for the most buyers we require. The most buyers we require. Color, natural ginger color, light brown, to be clean, free of dirt, debris, and any foreign matter. No rot or pest damage, should be free of mold. Now, I will come to mold towards the end. One of the major challenges of ginger is aflatoxin resulting from this mold. That is why the moisture content must be kept very low. If you miss that point and you do not dry it early enough and the mold begin to grow because of the moisture, then you are going to have aflatoxin in it. Should be free of mold, insect, and other infestation. Shape. Individual split may vary, but should be generally whole and not powder. That is dry split ginger now. Impurities. Below 2%. Many people look at maximum 2%, any form of impurities, any form of debris, foreign matter, no more than 2%. Flavor, strong characteristic ginger taste. Moisture, that is the major culprit, major culprit, major culprit. Between 6 to 9% maximum. You can do 6, 7, that's better. Maybe you need to get moisture meter when you want to export any agro commodity. Maybe you should get moisture meter so that you can be sure what you're buying before you buy and you can test it on the field. Some buyers buy ginger for the oil content. They extract the oil content, which is usually 1 to 2%. For different uses, aflatoxin should be nil. Harvesting ginger starts from October and normally continue till April. This likely depends on the market because ginger can be left in the ground not harvested for at least 2 years and it will be fine under the ground. Ginger is produced in 5 states in Nigeria, mainly in Kaduna, southern Kaduna in particular, then Nasarawa, Benue, Niger, and Gombe, with Kaduna being the major producer. The list of ginger use is almost endless, being a pungent spicy herb and one of the more popular food spices, range from baked goods like ginger bread, ginger biscuit, ginger cookies, to drinks like ginger tea, ginger beer, ginger ale. Ginger contains about 2% essential oil. The oil is extracted and distilled from the rhizome for various uses. Now, I tell you that some people buy it only for the purpose of that oil and is used in confectionaries, in perfumes, beverages, pharmaceuticals. Dry ginger is used predominantly for flavoring coffee, especially in the Middle East. It contains medicinal qualities and also used to calm nausea, feeling like vomiting, and aid digestion. Dry ginger is used in many different cooking methods. It's also important spice in Asia, Caribbean, and of course in African food. Dry ginger possesses a concentrated, pungent, and slightly sweet flavor compared to fresh ginger. Its aroma is warm, spicy, and slightly citrus. Now, dry ginger is a staple ingredient in many cuisines worldwide, adding depth and warmth to savory dishes like stew, curry, stir fries, marinade. It's also commonly used in baking for ginger cookies, ginger bread, ginger cake. Additionally, it can be steeped in hot water to make warm and flavorful ginger tea. Ginger has been used for centuries in traditional medicine for various benefits. Studies suggest that it possesses anti-inflammatory properties. Ginger oil. The active compound in ginger may help reduce inflammation and pain. Digestive benefit. Ginger can aid digestion and relieve nausea and vomiting. Antioxidant effect. Ginger contains antioxidants that may protect cells from damage. Having introduced ginger and also state some very important essential elements, we can now move on to discuss potentials. You know, when you want to promote your product for the export market, one thing you want to do is to ensure that you know the market where the product is in high demand. And that's what we'll be looking at here. Where is ginger in high demand around the world? Because when you are going to promote, even if you are going to go overseas representative, of course it should be in the market that you are targeting, the market you know you will be able to get potential buyers for your product. So where is the market for ginger? The demand for ginger in the world is about 1.39 billion. As of 2021, 1.39 billion. Now, who are the major buyers? North America, European, and Asian. Let's look at them one by one. $572 million demand in Asia, from Japan to Saudi Arabia to Bangladesh to UAE to Pakistan to Malaysia. These are the largest demand. This largest demand is from this region of the world, followed by the European, from Netherlands to United Kingdom to Spain to Germany to Italy. $517 million demand. How about North America? $211 million from United States to Canada and, of course, to Mexico. In Africa, there is demand in Africa, from Morocco to Egypt to South Africa to Sudan to Algeria and Rwanda. And the demand is about $72.6 million. Even in Saudi, in Oceania, New Zealand and Australia, $11.9 million. Then, of course, in South America, the lowest demand in South America, Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Chile, $6.14 million. Now, so who are the major buyers? United States is the largest buyer of ginger in the world, 11.5%, closely followed by Netherlands. So if you are looking for market, United States, Netherlands, Japan, Pakistan, Germany, UAE, Vietnam, Spain, Russia, Canada, Morocco in Africa are major buyers of ginger. Now, what this is telling you is, if I'm trying to export ginger, these are the market where I should be getting representative. These are the market where I should be targeting with my promotion. If I need to buy import data, these are the market I should be targeting, because this is where the demand are, irrespective of the type of ginger, either in the spicy form or dry leaf ginger or even the fresh ginger. These are the major market. Now, you want to export ginger, and not just ginger, many commodities in the world, agro commodities. There's a big issue with packaging you cannot afford to joke with. Big issue with packaging that you cannot afford to joke with. In fact, I think this is the real area of concern, because this is what will preserve the good in transit. You could have bought good quality product, but the only thing that messes up your transaction is the fact that you did not package it well to destination. And what does that mean? The good can get spoiled in transit. One of the major challenges of exporter are knowledge gap, which is why we emphasize the need for export readiness. Export readiness. One of the criteria in export readiness is understanding the product, and of course the quality specification, and of course the market. But the product, and how to package the product and preserve the quality of the product in transit. And that's why packaging then becomes extremely important. Proper packaging of dry split ginger for export is essential to ensure its quality, its freshness, and compliance with international standards. The key consideration for understanding and packaging dry ginger for export include cleaning and sorting, thorough cleaning, sorting, and drying to remove any impurity, dirt, damaged pieces. This initial step is crucial to maintain overall quality. Remember when we were looking at the quality specification, impurities are not allowed. Impurities, maximum 2%. Most agri commodity will allow 1-2% impurity because they know it's from farm, but some will even insist no more than 1%. Like sesame seeds, clean sesame seeds, no more than 1% impurity. Quality grading. Grade the dry ginger based on size or color and appearance. This helps in creating uniform batches that meet the quality expectation of international market. Drying process. Confirm that the dried ginger has undergone a proper drying process to reduce its moisture. Remember the moisture content, no more than 9%. The lower you keep it, the better for you. The lower you keep it, the better for you. If you don't dry on time and you don't dry well and mold grows on it, it creates aflatoxin. It's mycoxin that creates the aflatoxin, release it inside the product, and this makes it to become a low quality ginger. Low moisture content is essential to prevent mold growth and ensuring product shelf stability during transit. Packaging material. Choose appropriate packaging material that provide protection against external elements like moisture, external elements like light, external elements. Common material include multi-layer bag, vacuum seal pouches, and container designed for food products, food grade materials. Determine the appropriate packaging size based on the market. Typically, in most contracts, if you are doing dry split ginger, the contract will specify the way it should be packaged. Is it 50 kg? Is it 25 kg? Is it 100 kg? Even if you are doing a ginger powder or grind ginger, of course, you will have packaged it and samples should have been sent. So the buyer and seller agree on the sizes. Ensure airtight sealing to preserve freshness, flavor, and aroma of the dry ginger. Vacuum seal packaging is effective in maintaining quality product quality by preventing exposure to air. Moisture barrier. Utilize packaging with moisture barrier to protect the dry ginger from humidity. If you are putting ginger in a PP bag, it's recommended you use a PP bag with an inner liner so you can prevent, so that even if water pour on the bag, it can't get inside. This is especially crucial to prevent reabsorption of moisture, which could impact on product quality. Clearly label each package with essential information. Of course, this is usually based on what you have agreed: origin, net weight, lot and batch number, certification, or quality mark. Adequate labeling ensure compliance with international regulation. Storage conditions. Store the packaged ginger in a cool and dry environment before shipping. This helps maintain the quality of the product and prevent exposure to unfavorable conditions. Material in packaging. The primary packaging material, that's the one that closely associated with the ginger, where ginger will enter directly. Multi-wall laminated bag. Why? Why? This makes it strong, durable, protection from moisture, protection from pests, and contamination. It should be food grade. Ensure they are puncture resistant and can withstand moisture barrier. The geographic stack, just an option, but become less frequent due to concern about breathability and potential mold growth. Depend on the buyer's need. Common weight is 12.5 kg, 25 kg, or even larger box sack, 36 to 65 kg. Secondary packaging is optional, using wooden crate or cardboard. This is for small sizes. Provide additional protection during transport, especially for long distance and delicate ginger pieces. Palletization might also be used for secondary packaging, but optional. For large quantity palletization with shrink wrap. That means you put a wooden pallet on the ground, put the ginger bag on it, use a shrink wrap to tie it to the pallet and make it easier for forklift to carry. Important consideration, food grade material. All packaging material must be suitable for food contact. Remember, there will be direct contact between the ginger and the wall. There will be direct contact. So food grade material, very important. All packaging material must be suitable for food contact and comply with regulations of the importing country. Moisture barrier. Packaging should prevent moisture. You will see constant emphasis. If there is one thing that damages many agro commodities, moisture. And unfortunately, people still make this mistake. You know, you hear this story, Nigerian products are rejected, and I always tell people, Nigerian products are rejected because the people exporting it have not learned what to do to prevent it from being rejected. There are big agro-commodity exporters in Nigeria. You don't hear them having issue with quality. The people that have issue with quality most of the time are these new people coming in, SME, and the challenge is, for one reason or the other, people want to export and they don't want to learn about the business. How will you be exporting a product you don't know the quality specification, you don't know what happened from the farm, till when you package, till when you ship? You just buy it in warehouse and you want to ship it. Moisture barrier. Packaging should prevent moisture ingress to maintain the ginger quality and prevent spoilage. Durability. Packaging need to withstand the rigor of shipping, including potential stacking and rough handling. Labeling. Clear and accurate label. The name of the product, the origin, the net weight, the batch number, and any other information the buyer agree with you that you must put on the product. Any other information you agree with the buyer that must be put on the product. Dried leaf ginger is typically shipped in two main ways. It can be bought or in bags. Let's look at 20-foot container, put in bulk. Prefer for large shipment. This method involves using dedicated containers or ship old mega bulk lined with plastic liner and just pour it inside. Cost effective, large quantity, efficient loading and unloading. Disadvantage, require specialized equipment and infrastructure to be able to get it into the ship and get it out. A 20-foot container can typically hold between 20 and 25 tons of dried ginger in bulk shipment due to weight restriction and bulkier nature of the product. Now, sometimes you might achieve this easily with 40 foot actually. You know, ginger also is not it's lightweight. The weight is not as you will see for cashew. So using 40 might be better. Common for smaller shipment and specialty grade, that's bag shipment. Using woven propylene bag for various sizes. So if you are doing bulk, you can achieve 25 tons in a container because there's no bag. But if there is bag, you won't be able to achieve that. Advantages, easier to handle, better protection for ginger, suitable for smaller quantity. Disadvantage, less space efficient. Look at it. 25 bags, about 700 to 800 bags, implying 17.5 to 20 tons. 50 bags, 450 to 400 to 450 bags, implying 20 to 22.5 tons. And 100 kg bag, 200 to 225 bags, implying 20 to 22.5 tons per container. We'll go on a short break.
John, a determined entrepreneur, desired to go into export business but was clueless about the process. He was introduced to Export Hack, a comprehensive and product-specific online course for mastering export of agro-commodities, processed foods, solid minerals and manufactured goods. John immediately bought the Export Hack for product of his choice at 100,000 Naira per product and voraciously learnt about the specifications, packaging, documentation, market potential, pitfalls, pricing, risk mitigation, and strategies for securing buyers abroad. Through Export Hack's guidance, John boosted his export skills and became a proficient exporter. With the newfound expertise, he navigated the challenging landscape and successfully avoided common pitfalls in export business. Today, John stands as a master in exports business, a testament to his perseverance and invaluable lessons from the Export Hack. To buy the export hack for your product of choice, visit globaltradecollege.com or call 080920000424, 080920000424.
All right. We have export hack for over 80 products, and ginger happens to be one of them. So for how to export dry split ginger, and it comes with about 10 videos together with this ginger video and together with other videos in the online course to be able to guide you to be able to effectively and profitably export your ginger. Let's move on to paperwork. Documentation are often repeat every week. International trade is likely a business of documentation and logistics. In this case, we have different documents that will be required. Common among them is commercial invoice. This will be among the documents sent to the buyer for the shipment, which contain good description, quantity, unit price, total value of the ginger, packing list, itemizing the net and gross weight, and if it's carton dimension, ensuring accurate cargo identification, and then bill of lading if it's going by sea, airway bill if it's going by air, roadway bill if it's going by road. Export declaration, that's the NSP in Nigeria context. You need to fill the NSP. Now, most buyers will require you to do a pre-shipment inspection. This is an independent inspector verifying the quality and quantity of dry split ginger against agreed upon specifications such as moisture, microbiology analysis, heavy metal. You see those specifications I talk about: impurities, moisture, aflatoxin, oil content, microbial analysis. That is what the inspection is done. This is not going to be done by PIA. It will be done by the like of FGS, Biri Veritas, and the like. Fumigation certificate, other permit and license. If you're exporting from Nigeria, of course, you need a license. You need what is called export certificate or export license, and you can get that from the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. If you are processing this ginger to powder for consumption, consider getting ASSOP, a food safety, hazard analysis, and critical control point, to demonstrate adherence to international food standards. Consider first rate certification. Some countries require this, but not many countries. And of course, ensure traceability system. You should know where the product is coming from. If you are shipping from Nigeria, you need an NXP, process on tradesystem.gov.ng, plus your pro forma invoice, plus Nigerian Export Promotion Council certificate. For you to get the NEP certificate, you need to be a limited liability company with export as one of the objectives. You also process your next fee, 0.5% of the FOB value. Then custom issue single good declaration, and the PIA issue clean certificate of inspection. All this will be arranged for you by your agent. But don't leave the lifeline of your business in the hand of the agent. Ensure you follow up on them and know what they are doing. Then, percent certificate, and fumigation certificate, and the third-party inspection certificate. So these are the documentation that will be required. Let me move on to the process. You know, if you are coming in for the first time, you need to ask yourself, so what is the step-by-step process involved in ginger export? What is the step-by-step process involved? Number one is preparation. At the point of preparation, what are you doing? You are learning what we are discussing here. This is the part of preparation. Then promotion. If you are fully prepared, you will know exactly what to do to be able to promote. For you to be able to effectively promote, you must be prepared. And I was saying that what we are doing here is part of the preparatory work. And that acquiring knowledge, acquiring the skill, and learning all the issues around it is what happens at the point of preparation. When preparation has been properly done, it becomes easier to know exactly what you need to promote. There's a common thing in our country, people looking for someone to give them contract. You get contract for someone this year, next year you will come back to the person again asking for another contract. The question is, why can't you learn to get it yourself? This is business development, by the way, and should be the major work of the CEO of the business. Preparation. With preparation come promotion. With preparation come promotion. If you are adequately prepared, you will be able to know what to do to promote. When you are able to promote very well, It's easier to get purchase orders and then negotiate your pricing. When you're promoting from this program, you now know the country you should be focusing on. You already know what country is demanding for ginger that should be your focus. You now know that already. The country you should be focusing on that is in need of your product. You now know that already. Purchase order, pricing, then procurement. Immediately the contract has been signed. The next thing is procurement. Procurement. Production. Procurement if you are just buying. Production if you are the manufacturer. Information is now a currency. Preparation is a month. Very correct. Packaging and labeling. Packaging and labeling. When the product is ready, packaging and labeling. Then pre-export documentation. Pre-export documentation. If you look at the chart I showed you earlier, you will see the pre-export documentation. You will see the post-export documentation. Then port clearance and inspection. Inspection by the third-party inspection agent of the buyer. Inspection by the customs. Inspection by the PIA designated by government depending on the port of shipment. Then post-export documentation. The bill of lading, the invoice, pre-export documentation, and the document you need to initiate export clearance. Post-export and the document you need to send to the buyer, and the buyer needs it to be able to clear the goods. While the port-to-port shipment is ongoing, document is expected to be presented. So the post-export document for your ginger shipment should be sent to the buyer or his bank. Presentation of document, and then port clearance and inspection. When document is presented, if you are being billed for collection or letter of credit, it is presented to the importer's bank. But if you do cash against document open account, it is presented to the importer directly, and then clearing can happen. And inspection before payment. In some cases, payment will have already been made even before the good arrives. So you can have advance payment. You can have advance payment. Only that will only be done when there is trust, establishment of trust. When you're dealing with a buyer for the first time, you are not likely going to get advance payment unless the brand is already very known and there is trust. But sometimes they can pay when they confirm you have shipped the goods. And maybe their rep is in Nigeria and their rep have seen the goods, they can actually pay before they see the goods. But most cases, payment is made upon arrival and when the good quality and quantity have been confirmed. Let's move on from processes to purchasers. Many people believe the challenge is getting purchaser, and I always say getting purchaser is easy if you know what to do and implement it. It's a lot of work, I won't deny it, but you can do it. You just need the right information. There are different platforms you can use and different options available to you. You can go on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn, but don't go on social media to promote until you have mastered the protocol to follow in promotion online. There are protocols to follow. So please don't go and start promoting until you have mastered the protocol. And you will find the protocol on how to find buyer right in Export app. The protocol is in Export app. B2B portal is an option you can explore. B2B portal. Even when you buy data from database company, and you go to B2B portal and you get contact, still remember there are protocols to follow before you reach out to the buyer. Get a representative. Don't approach the buyer directly. They might not respond to your messages. International trade fairs. That's the most expensive of them all. But if you know what to do, you can get a number of buyers, but you still need a partner on ground that will continue the work when you're back to your country. Overseas sales representative, overseas subsidiary company, overseas sales branch. If I'm a big organization, I can set up a branch. Why not? If I'm a medium company, I can set up a subsidiary, partner with a company on the other end. But if I'm just starting an SME, maybe small micro, I might want to consider getting a rep for a start and then move on to overseas sales subsidiary and overseas sales brand. If you want to learn more about all the processes involved in getting buyers, how to maximize social media, how to engage B2B platform, get the database company, an international trade fair, and getting partner, then I would recommend you get Eureka Pack. It shows you how to get prepared to get buy abroad, get the online tool to deploy in getting buy abroad, get the list of markets with demand for your product, get the list of importers in that market, get the contact of importers in that market. It also shows you how to get export contract, convert it to contract, and of course, get favorable export terms. It secure buyer, it helps you to be able to secure buy abroad yourself, save cost of searching, save time in searching, save energy in searching, service multiple buyers, secure credible buyers, and solve the problem of getting buyer finally. All right, let's move on to pricing. Now, the idea here is this. You have a buyer, he's offering you a price. You want to know if that price is good enough. Now, these are the cost elements you need to consider if you are doing ginger export. The price of the product is currently over 1.5 million, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember the exact figure now, but I know it's really well over a million right now, more than 1.5. Products, that's price per ton. And remember, you can put up to about 20 tons in a container. Transport to the warehouse. If you are exporting commodity, please always remember, it should go to a warehouse where Federal Produce and the Nigeria Agricultural Quarantine Service will come and do their inspection. Very important. Don't take it straight to the terminal. If I'm shipping finished goods, I can take it straight to the terminal from my warehouse or from the production factory. But if I'm doing commodity, I will not take it straight to the warehouse because they need to come and do inspection. I will not take it straight to the port because they need to come and do inspection to ensure the quality is in order. And this is very, very important. So I need a warehouse. Warehousing about 30 to 50,000 per metric ton for week 1 to 4 weeks, depending on the location. Transport to the port depends on the carrier, the product, and the destination. Transport to the warehouse also depends on the distance, of course, the carrier also. Freight forwarder, about 150 to 250 per container, depending on the negotiation and the size of the container. Shipping line local charges, 30 to 40,000 per container. Freight charge depends on the carrier, the product, and destination. Most freight charge right now is over $1,000, €1,000. It's usually most of the time dollar and euro. Either $1,000, €1,000. Most freight charge right now. Most freight charges right now. NXP processing fee charged by the bank 8,000 per NXP, and you can put many container in one NXP. Net fee 0.5% of the FOB value. Logistic fee about 30 to 50,000 per metric ton. Terminal handling charge about 80,000 to 120,000 per container. Marine insurance fee about 0.4 to 0.8% of the invoice value. Inspection fees 100 to 120 per container. It can be more. Depending on the agency. You won't need NAFDAC if you are exporting dry split ginger. You will need NAFDAC if you are exporting dry split ginger. But if you are exporting ginger that is processed into powder, ready for consumption, you will need NAFDAC. But for this, what you will need is the fumigation certificate and first-time certificate from this government agency. Certificate of origin 12 to 10,000 per shipment. And if you are taking a low interest rate. So you factor in all these costs before you agree on the price with the buyer. Now, pitfalls. So what do I need to avoid? What do I need to do to ensure I export this product successfully? Pitfalls to avoid if I'm trying to go into export. Common quality issues with dry split ginger can impact its marketability and overall value. Common quality issues with dry ginger can impact its marketability and overall value. Here are some of the common quality issues associated with dry ginger along with suggested mitigation measures. Mold and fungal growth. Improper drying and storage condition can lead to mold and fungal contamination. Ensure proper drying with adequate ventilation. Store dry ginger in a cool place, cool dry place, in moisture-resistant packaging. Moisture-resistant packaging. Insect infestation. Insects can damage dry ginger during cultivation, drying, or storage. So implement pest control measures during cultivation, ensure proper drying and storage conditions to deter insects. If you are buying, you want to examine to ensure it's not yet being consumed by insects. Discoloration, exposure to sunlight, improper drying method can cause discoloration. That's after drying. Protect ginger from direct sunlight during drying. That's spreading something on it to prevent direct sunlight. During drying, use controlled drying method, appropriate packaging to preserve the color. Loss of aroma. Prolonged storage, exposure to moisture, or inadequate drying can result in loss of ginger characteristic aroma. Mitigation, opt for quick and efficient drying method. Store dry ginger in an airtight container in a cool, dry place. Poor rehydration. Inadequate drying or processing method can lead to poor rehydration process. Use proper drying technique to maintain cellular structure. Ensure uniform slicing and drying for consistent rehydration. Foreign materials. Presence of stones, dirt, other foreign material in dry ginger. Remember, it's commodity. It's commodity. It is commodity. Because it is commodity, it is susceptible to foreign materials. Particularly the fact they have to be dry and packed. Implement thorough cleaning, drying process. Use quality control measures to detect and remove foreign materials. High ash content, excessive ash due to inadequate washing during processing. You know, ash is part of what is on the soil and is pulled out from the soil. If it's not washed very well, you have ash content. Improve washing and rinsing process to reduce ash content and adhere to quality control standard. Adulteration, mixing ginger with other substances to increase weight and volume. Establish a transparent supply chain, conduct regular quality check to ensure authenticity of the ginger. Now, you are not the one farming. You are probably just buying from the farmer, or that's why you need to know your supply chain. It will be good if you know those that are farming. If you don't know them, you are able to trace them from the merchant. And at least, even if you don't know them, you should be able to do your checks to check. The whole idea of getting lab analysis, doing visual examination, is to minimize these kind of issues as much as possible. Storage odor. Now, absorption of external odor during storage. Store ginger away from smelly substance. So it shouldn't be stored in a place where other products have smell or odor are located, because it can absorb that odor and begin to smell like that. Microbial contamination. Presence of harmful microorganisms due to poor hygiene practices. Maintain strict hygiene during cultivation, harvesting, and processing. Implement proper sanitation and storage practice. If the ginger is fine after harvest, it can be a post-harvest issue during washing. After washing, if it's well washed, it can be during sun drying, if it's well dried, and if it's well dried, and you are now storing it, it can be done in storage. So from the farm to during the harvest, to the washing and slicing and drying, to the storage, particularly when you are purchasing. Maintain strict hygiene during cultivation, harvest, processing, implement proper sanitation and storage practice. Now, before we close, let's look at aflatoxin contamination, major issue with ginger. Aflatoxin contamination is the presence of harmful toxin called aflatoxin in food products. These toxins are produced by certain mold species, particularly Aspergillus flavus and Aspergillus parasitus, that grow on crops under warm and humid conditions. These Aspergillus flavus and parasiticus grow on crops, of course, like corn, like peanuts. This mold grow on tree nuts, like almond, and cashew, on spices, on rice, and unfortunately, on ginger. Aflatoxin is a serious concern for dry leaf ginger export. It's harmful toxin produced by certain mold that can grow on ginger under one and humid condition. It has health risks. Aflatoxin exposure can have severe health consequences, including liver damage and even cancer. Regulation. Most importing countries have strict regulation on aflatoxin level. In food product like ginger, exceeding this limit can lead to shipment rejection and even total financial loss. So, to prevent this, pre-harvest practices, good agricultural practice include crop rotation, proper feed sanitation, control moisture level to reduce the risk of mold growth. The mold growth is the real problem. Post-harvest handling, prompt and proper drying of ginger is essential. Ensure adequate ventilation and overcrowding and avoid overcrowding during storage to prevent moisture buildup. So you can buy good ginger and you have issue when you're storing it. Sorting and cleaning. Rigorous sorting to remove any discolored, damaged, or moldy ginger pieces before processing and packaging. Storage conditions. Store dry ginger in a cool, dry, and well-ventilated place to minimize both growth and, of course, aflatoxin production. Monitoring and testing. Regularly monitor stored ginger for sign of mold. Sign of mold, the greenish substance. Implement a testing program to ensure aflatoxin levels are well within acceptable limits. Common detection methods include immunoassay kit and high-performance liquid chemotherapy. Other consideration, reputable inspection companies like SGS Intertech can test aflatoxin level before shipment to ensure compliance with regulation. So you can take it to the lab for testing. Maintain good traceability record throughout the supply chain to identify source of any contamination if necessary, because that will help you to prevent it next time. Let's go on a short break.
John, a determined entrepreneur, desired to go into export business but was clueless about the process. He was introduced to Export Hack, a comprehensive and product-specific online course for mastering export of agro-commodities, processed foods, solid minerals and manufactured goods. John immediately bought the Export Hack for product of his choice at 100,000 Naira per product and voraciously learned about the specifications, packaging, documentation, market potential, pitfalls, pricing, risk mitigation, and strategies for securing buyers abroad. Through Export Hack's guidance, John boosted his export skills and became a proficient exporter. With the newfound expertise, he navigated the challenging landscape and successfully avoided common pitfalls in export business. Today, John stands as a master in exports business, a testament to his perseverance and invaluable lessons from the Export Hack. To buy the Export Hack for your product of choice, visit globaltradecollege.com or call 080920000424, 080920000424.
If you are interested in getting the recorded version of this particular video, get a copy of the Export Hack. It contains preparation for export of ginger, specification of ginger, product potential, paperwork intricacies, purchase order detail, protocol to getting buyers, which are additional video, pricing profile, promotion for contract, pitfall and mitigation, and how you can be ready to export ginger out of Nigeria.